Hello again everyone, and welcome to the start of my Northeast MegaTrip series, a series of videos from my 4-day-long railfanning adventure across the northeastern and mid-Atlantic United States with two other friends of mine, Will, Trainman184 on YouTube, and Connor, Trainman145 on YouTube. Day 1 finds us at the Strasburg Railroad in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. The Strasburg Railroad is the oldest operating short-line railroad in the U.S. and hauls both freight and passenger trains, utilizing a fleet of 3 steam locomotives and 2 diesel locomotives. The power for today's excursion is ex-Canadian National 260 number 89. SRC 89 was built by the Canadian Locomotive Works in Kingston, Ontario, Canada in 1910. After over 60 years in revenue service, 89 was retired and acquired by the Green Mountain Railroad in New Hampshire. 89's tenure at the Green Mountain Railroad didn't last very long, and was sold to the Strasburg Railroad in 1972, where she has been operating ever since. Once the clock struck 11, our journey to paradise begun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the scenery Amish Country has to offer.
Next stop is the ghost whistle.
We're about to do, yeah. Well, after we're done with the siding, we do the ghost whistle. We stop it. I think we must stop it.
Just on the left-hand side of the train is our golf course and big yard. Normally, of course, it gets at this time. But it's a little what we have to offer. We have tables, benches, barbecues, camp on well water, the playground, and various living facilities. All you need to do is apply the basic lunch. You know, any westbound train, we're going to need a later train and miss none of the rides. But when it's the last train of the day, that's just a very long walk back to the station.
Once we passed Groff's Grove, our train then stopped for a time-honored tradition at the Strasburg Railroad, the ghost whistle. The legend goes that when the train stops and whistles at a certain point on the line, the ghost of Lancaster, Oxford, and Southern, number 6, will respond. Obviously, it's just a very well-timed echo. Or is it? You be the judge. Shortly after the ghost whistle, we reached the end of the line at Paradise, Pennsylvania, where the Strasburg interchanges with Amtrak's Keystone corridor. This is also where the SRC interchanges freight with Norfolk Southern. While pulling into Paradise, we also encounter another one of Strasburg's steam locomotives, ex-Great Western number 90. More on her later.
This is Portchester Station. We're only going to extend today one stood in every lane, so it's out. There is a light, president for the train, and a front for the passengers. On February 22nd, 1861, this double train carried President White Day for happiness and Lincoln. Stopped at original date 2,000 people, and the journey to the inauguration of Destiny in Washington, D.C. More than 4.5 years later, another train passing in opposite direction. Various light business body on the center, back to Illinois. Now, folks, I give you paradise. Change for Huntsville, Hagerstown, Harrisburg, Paoli, Philadelphia, Trenton, Newark, and New York, and all points east. Points west, Lancaster, Middletown, Harrisburg, Altoona, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Chicago. That's of course you can drive fast enough to catch an Amtrak train at it. Might find it a little difficult to believe, but yes, this is paradise. Paradise, Pennsylvania, that is. You're in it, let's face it, it was the closest anyone to paradise today.
While at Paradise, 89 runs around the consist to the rear of the train, which then becomes the front of the train as it leads boiler first back to Strasburg. 89 will then do the same thing once the train reaches Strasburg as seen here. Once we were done riding the first two excursions of the day, we headed over to Paradise to do some railfanning of the Keystone corridor, and to catch 90 on the engineer experience duty. Our first train on the Keystone corridor was the westbound Pennsylvanian, train number 42, towards its next stop in Lancaster, and as you can tell, we aren't used to railfanning high-speed trains.
No! Connor, look behind. Jesus.
We didn't have much time to sit up for the eastbound Pennsylvanian either. After barely catching both Pennsylvanians, we made our way down to check out 90 pulling the engineer's experience consist, which was just a single bobber caboose. Strasburg number 90 was built in 1924 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the Great Western Railroad in Colorado to haul sugar beets and other freight. After 4 decades of service to the Colorado Short Line, 90 was purchased by the Strasburg Railroad in 1967 and instantly became the star locomotive of the Strasburg fleet. At 2 o'clock, the lucky participant for the engineer's experience then took the decapod west out of Paradise. Unfortunately, none of us did the engineer experience or any in-cab experience due to the high price tag, although I have gotten the chance to operate a steam locomotive before, though a much smaller one than 90, and it is for sure the experience of a lifetime, and I'm sure who's ever at the throttle of 90 will feel the same way. 89 then came and went from Paradise, which meant 90 was clear to shove back into Paradise for the next round of experiences. Shortly after, an Amtrak Keystone service train with an ACS 64 on point raced on by the interchange. This time, we were better prepared. After about an hour, we were in for a three-way meet. The first two trains for the meet were Strasburg 89 and 90, each with their respective consuls for the day. The third train for the meet was a westbound Keystone service train, but this time a Metroliner cab car was leading, with a nice sounding 1970s era K5LA to top the meet off. Once the Keystone service train flew past, 89 completed its runaround maneuver, and with the slip of its drivers, it was off to Strasburg. This concluded our time at the Strasburg Railroad, the railroad to paradise.
Get the crap out of me. We're gonna get covered.
But our day was far from over. After Strasburg, we all headed on over to tour Harrisburg and Enola. Also, One of the reasons why we were there was because NS 777 had two heritage units leading, 8100 and 8104. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for day 3. And please don't ask about day 2.